Yes, 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 yes. Today we've got Gotti joining us on the Morning Wood.
Just another day out here in sunny LA.
Roll something with us. Let's get stoned right here.
Palm trees, good weed.
Demrick, Be Real, called Fried Chicken Friday. Let's get stoned.
Yup. Tell me where your heart is at. I'm underground like an artifact. Before the rap, I used to quarterback, quarter sacks out the cul-de-sac, and I ain't going back. I'm out in LA with them old school Cadillacs, where the sun shine, but the taxes is high. We got that good weed and most of the bitches is buy. For the right price, she gon' hop a flight to Dubai. So think twice for your kiss of goodbye. For real, most these niggas out there living a lie. For real, hard times on the grind could barely buy a meal. Shit, it used to be me too. Wait, baby, give me brains, she got a high IQ. A bitch gon' hear I'm through, for she hear I do. Ain't no fool, watch how quick she start DMing the crew. Yeah, it's just the way that it goes. Stay on the road, don't lose control. For sure. Ooh-wee. Skirt, skirt. Don't lose control out here. Don't lose yourself along the way. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I hopped off the porch quicker, drinking 40 ounces of more liquor, dream more bigger, most can't roll with ya. Used to roll swishers, fucking on your sister. Now they call me Mister, but still never switched up. Still the same me, your chain turn gang green. We ain't in the same league, you play for the away team. Black out the spot like Beijing. My side thing is your main thing. I smoke daily just to maintain. Calm my stresses when I'm gone, I'ma die a legend. Without a question, got my family in the session. We taking tequila shots, made our own way. Give a fuck if they believe it or not. The plot thicken like grandma's batter on fried chicken. Clock ticking, got my Glock cocked, I'm out there tripping. That's just the way that we living. The price is risen for the wild and the unforgiving.
Get control, man. Oh my God, it's the demolition, man. I'm in cruise control. I could never lose control, but it might cause you to lose it though. When you see the way I built the bridge and use control, you catch a feeling and you wish that you could use that flow. You can't do that though. You ain't got what it takes to elevate the brakes. You're a useless hoe. It's like seeds in the soil when you watch them grow, and eventually they flower and you watch them go. Everybody got a habit, if you know, you know. Every day it's like a habit and you need some more. Everyone is talking about it, telling so and so. Everywhere they want to copy and that's a no-no. Gold balls gleaming with the top show streaming. Call me Dr. Green Thumb, shake hands when you see him. 8-foot bong in the Hall of Fame Museum. So you fucking roll if you meet him.
Right there, right there. They give it up.
A lot of people think that in order to conceal carry, you're gonna...
I was over here building this motherfucking link. Shout out to you guys for popping in here early. How we doing? Marijuana to you. Let me know what you're smoking on. Let me finish off this link. Let me tag my guy Gotti in here. I always be saying my guy and shit like that now, huh? Pump faking. Pump faking. It's okay. We doing that. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. All right, what are we smoking out there? What's up to you guys? What up, Smokey Soldier in here? We got Bay. We got MR. Mario in here. Hit me with that like, my guy. Buncha in here smoking on some Galaxy Toad. Okay, you just had to outdo me, huh? So I got yellow, he's got blue, but I got Galaxy. Who is the boss of the Toads? Fuck a CCW. Better get caught with it than without it. Okay, no bond number 9. Smoking on some Zagendas from Red Bud Roots. I'm going to be lighting up some Purple Belts, some Surreal Selections who will be joining us on Thursday. Looking forward to this. A little overdue on this discussion. I think we should have had him a little bit closer to when we had Black Leaf on here, who had mentioned things about organics. It's going to be a dope conversation, though, with him. I know he's got some things he wants to say. I want to hear it, and we're going to pry into some stuff about it. But let me go ahead. I'm going to open this up. We'll see what it looks like. We'll get my guy in here. Smoke Dog is rolling it up. He will roll me up a dog bone. That's right. That's what he's got him. That's his theme. That's his theme. Sangria Azul Rosin. This smells amazing. Okay, so this one smelling amazing on this one. Let's get it to the reefer can because I know you guys want to see what it's looking like out there. Let's go ahead and see what I'm smoking this morning. Shout out to, again, Surreal Selections. Let's see if we can get a little closer to it. Let's see if we could really get a good look at it, though, right? Damn, let's see. Oh, yeah, this one I'm smoking. Oh, you're probably smoking some GMO, some Blue Dream. I don't even know what it is. You tell me, but not this one. Come on. Thank you, Surreal. Appreciate you. Let me pass this over to my dude. Appreciate you, Smart Dog. Marijuana to you guys. We got a guest today. I'm going to skim over a couple topics with you guys, and then we're going to get in and start discussing some things with Gotti, which a lot to discuss. One, he's been in the high rollers bracket. He was in where they had the conference, right, where they call them, where all of them got together. That was a dope conversation. Curious to see the follow-up on that after everything went down. How does things look with it? He'll be joining us today, so very dope. We'll get into that. I do got some topics for you guys I wanted to get into. A couple of them when we had Ryan on here. Shout out to Doja, doing big things all across the globe. Entitled comment? Well, which one, Blick? Flexing on him, sir. Wait, whoa. How'd I flex? My bad. I'm trying to think how I flex. But hey, we're going to go over this. We had Ryan on last week, and he was talking about, I asked him a question because I felt when he sat down with Juan from Backpack Boys, when those two sit down and have a conversation, I feel like it's a lot of insight being given. So let's go ahead. This is their most recent ones. He had mentioned that he was going to do that again. So here it is.
And I agree with that, Juan. And if you don't agree with that the shit's getting better progressively as we go forward in life, then it's like you just don't believe in human existence, bro, because it has to get better. And I feel like it's better now than it's ever been. I don't even feel like last year it was as good as the weed is right now. So it's like, it's like all that nostalgic weed used to be better thing. I really feel like, we're pushing the limits of how good we, look how all our weed's burning, bro. Look, if you would have seen an interview from us 4 or 5 years ago, it probably wouldn't, the weed, and that's not everything, but that's part of it.
And really, there was fire back in the day as well.
Of course.
But I feel like as time goes on, evolution is just going to continuously make things better. So I think flower 100% has gotten better and is going to continue to do so.
Don't feel like that. I feel
right
like, and I agree.
Saying, look, we've had this conversation, and I agree with you guys. Look at you guys do you. I'm joking. If anyone really caught offense to that, like Bleaky, which I don't really imagine a lot of you guys did. You guys got to know I'm fucking joking with you, especially with something. I don't like GMO though, so I'll talk that shit all the time. I personally don't think it's fucking good. And I know it can be grown great. I know people love it. I know it's the top 3. But still, man, damn, I'm not going to cater to what the top strains are out there. I'm still going to fucking give you my opinion on some shit. Calm down. Relax, Blicky. Are you still not smoking? Bro, I wanted you to send me something, but you make me feel like I need to send you something. Damn. So if I prefer Blue Dream, I'm lesser. No! Oh, man, I'm going to skip this. Let's get it. Let's kick it. Look, here we are. We've got Ryan, Juan talking about it, about marijuana is proceeding to get better and better. And, when we talk about the strains from back in the day, a lot of people talk about the sours, the OGs, and things like that. It's in a sense, like we do, nostalgia. But, yes, today we have better weed to choose from, to smoke, and do our thing. Nice. He said, you're a host. Do better. I love it. Thank you. Hold me to a standard, Blicky. Let's keep it pushing. Yummy brand. Cuban Black Haze is what he's smoking on right now. Mario, what'd you say? There's no way to side by side, so just let it go and smoke what's available today. There's no way to side by side. What? Which ones? Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that would be epic. In a sense, you do kind of feel... Well, let me ask you this, Mario. Do you think that we are going to continue to see energy to recreate the strains from back in the day? I think that if you are in the cannabis world and you're looking out there and you're not having a lot of success out there selling what you're selling now, and you've got enough people out there talking about how they wish they had old strains from the past, will we see will we see brands or breeders focus in on bringing nostalgia, right? What if it was even in their name? Rafe says SirHIGH does love Blicky. I don't know if I would say it's a love. I would say it's more so like checking in, you know, just making sure he's healthy. Kim says the problem with old school genetics is people select based on names and not traits. That can be all confusing these days, right? Because if you think about it, now people are naming things so they can put their trademark on it. And so if they don't share the lineage, then you're losing what the traits will get lost in the sauce, because the traits come from the genetics and people look into them and then try to find those certain genetics within it. But if people stop sharing the lineage, then I see what you're saying, for sure. Oh, nice. Prefer Blue Dream. Put me straight to sleep. I was not ready for it. You know, you've seen me ask questions about Blue Dream and about different topics like that. If there's any responsibility from these breeders or from these facilities out here to keep some of these legacy, or not to say legacy like in a sense of non-licensed, but what I mean by that is like strains out there that have been glorified at some point. Don't you think that they always need to be on a shelf somewhere? Like, it's like this would be the only industry that I can think of where strains that have glorified to some point will disappear. That'd be like Heinz ketchup having like a 20-year run and then being like, oh, can't do it. What? You know what I'm saying? Like that ketchup is gone? No. They've replicated and duplicated it so commercial is able to get that product forever. But in cannabis, will we ever see that duplicated? I don't know. Interesting topic. I think, at least, I think it's one of those ones where if you are having people talk about these genetics for decades, if there's medical benefits, so we don't, I mean, for the most part, we talk about recreational here, right? We'll get down with recreational type energy. But when it comes to the medical benefits on that, I do think that there needs to be some sort of consistency for people who are dependent on it. So it's interesting to see how this all rolls out. Let me get to some of these comments out there. What makes OG for that? Fuck what genetics it came from. What does the plant show you? Okay, so you're looking at more so when you say that, it makes me go to terpene levels in different percentages that make up that profile, right? Is there anything else that we could look at that would make up the profiles that we could say, is that, am I on the right path with that? Talk to me on that. Monkey said, did roller duels happen already, Rafe? Check in with that. I know some rollers, they had one not too long ago. Improper had a chat challenge. Still sitting on some pre-98 ketchup, baby. I'll post a new brand that uses the original sriracha still up. We need that Canadian ketchup. You feel me? You get it though? Like that, if we look at any other market, there's a lot more consistency when it comes to something that's consumed so much by us. There's more consistency. Cannabis would be the only one where it's like, nah, get it while you can. Like, right? Is there anything else like that? You know, talk to me. I'm trying to think right now. Like, you can kind of say like craft beers are like that, but that's their choice. I don't know. But even a craft beer, if they find a fucking a smacker, they're like, they're like, oh, look, bottle this bitch up. All right, I got another topic for you guys. I saw this go down on First Smoke of the Day, which I thought was pretty dope. A lot of people have suggested this energy for me. Get a bunch of growers around a table and just start chopping it up.
But he's fixed it into seed form. I'm very dedicated to just getting Z in seed.
Hold on, though. I want to find that one because that one was real interesting. Here we go.
I don't think anybody's fixed it into seed form. I'm very dedicated to just getting seed in seed where you can buy the seeds, you can pop them, and you're going to find a good version of Z.
We combined about 100 years experience plus on the pod. If this is the music industry, these guys have had hit records, got ones you've all heard of. People would love these cuts.
Holy shit, what the is this? I can't move this. And then once we got into how to smoke it and roll it in the tip and really get into flavor and taste, it just blew my mind.
Watch that episode. Look at that.
I don't think anybody's fixed it into seed form. I'm very dedicated to just getting.
That is a dope episode. I'm about to watch that one. I saw that clip yesterday. Love to see all those growers, 100 plus years sitting around a table. You know, it's let's see what kind of conversations they get into. I can only imagine what they start talking about. Hugh Fong didn't renew the trademark on that. Underwood started selling it under their own brand. Underwood is the factory that produced the real Sriracha. Okay, some went down with Sriracha, huh? Sriracha had a little shift up. Tech, what up, Tech? Once people realize most everyone smokes mids because only 3% have access to the best weed in the world, you tend to shut up. That's where I do think that there's growth in the license world, though. I do think that we have seen in the license world, the cannabis has gotten better and better. I think that quality has, at least I can speak for Arizona. So I do think that there is more accessible, high quality marijuana available to consumers, maybe even more so than ever before, right? I mean, it's not like it's become less available. If anything, it's become way more available. And when we look at numbers, you look at more so price points, I think guides the commercial crowds the most. The ones, you know, yeah, like you said, 3% it probably is us, right? The consumers out there. I mean, not the consumers, but the connoisseurs. If that, I wonder. I wish we could see that. I'm out here smoking all this legal exotic for all those who can. There we go. Get it. 914, what'd you pop in and say? Let me get the. I hate that trademark shit. LOL, so whack. MR agrees with you. One company stops paying another, picks up the trademark, same sauce, but no one knows about it. No sauce and underrated. No sales and underrated. Tech says it's definitely more accessible, but still people are looking for the deal, not looking to spend $300 to $400 an ounce, right? And I think that's where people got to understand is like, you're not really trying to smoke exotics like that if you're trying to get a deal and stuff like that. If you're out, like, you don't go to the best steakhouse in your local area and say, yo, can I get this on some Denny's shit? Like, can I get that on like a combo? Like, if I get the steak, will you gift me the mac and cheese? Like, no, it's not Combo City, homie. Like, what the fuck, right? So I think the expectations need to be real. All right, we got our guy in here now, Mr. Mother fucking Gotti. He is in the waiting room. Let's get over here. Let's make sure everything's working out for him. Let's make sure everything's working now. Can you hear me?
Yo, I hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. I'm going to bring you live here on High in Arizona. Welcome to the motherfucking interview, Mr. Gotti. What's up, my man? How we doing?
What's good? How you doing, bro? Not much, man. I just got off a flight, actually. I just got back to the States. How you doing?
Oh, nice. I was going to say, because I did see you posting up working out. Was that you were in London yesterday?
Yeah, I was in London for the last week, and then I just got home this morning.
Nice. What was going down in London?
Just typical business shit, man. Just fucking meeting some friends I have out there.
Fire. Nice. You know, let's dive in. I appreciate you popping in. And, you know, when I dove in and was checking out the history, I saw that, you know, you guys have launched, you know, when did you guys officially launch Gotti Cannabis?
We officially did that in 2023.
And you guys did that out in New York. I saw that was in connection when I looked into it with Burner. Was Burner a part of Gotti? And how does that all play a part? Because, like, I saw
kinda, he was definitely the seed. He helped start it for sure. But no, we launched in Cali. But what it was Burner did, so he was going through like a time in his life. He had cancer that he was battling. And he wanted to name his next album Gotti, but he wanted to do it like official and get like the blessing from the family.
Yeah.
So he reached out to my father-in-law, who that's John. That's my father-in-law. So he reached out to him, however he did, and he started spending some time with him, and they linked up those two. We gave him the blessing to do the album, and then like the more and more time he was spending with us, he was like seeing what I had going on.
Okay.
So that's when Bernard was like, yo, G, why don't you have a cannabis brand with Gotti with your father-in-law? Like, this don't make no sense. Like this shit would do numbers. And I'm like, nah, bro, it's not like that. Like, he's not really cool with the cannabis stuff. He isn't really, and I do my own thing, and like that's just what it is. Like I'm here in the family for like over 10 years now. Like it's never been brought up. I'm not gonna bring it up now, you know?
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, bro, you gotta do it. Like, I got you. And he just started planting that seed in his ear, like, John, you got to do it. Like, people use your name all the time. You should be using your own name. You should be making the money yourself, you know, all this stuff. And more he spent time with Burner. He was like, wow, like this cannabis shit is real. Like this guy's doing it on a real scale, on a large scale. He's worldwide. Like, this is not no peanuts. Like this is how you do it legitimately. So he was like, fuck it. Like, you know, if he came to me, he's like, yo, do you want to do this? Like, if you have the sources, like let's go forward. So that's what we did. We went forward in like I said, it's a couple of years now. We did the launch in Cali, just flower. And yeah, it's been legal out there for a few years. And now, literally, like any day now, I'm going to be dropping vapes here on the legal market in New York. I'm just waiting for this like last COA to come through, and then I can start selling them.
Wow, man, how does that feel like? Because you had been in the game when I shout out to Good Pizza, did a phenomenal interview with you, and you guys talked about your history. You had been in the game at that point for a couple decades, you know, working through the lanes that you had. What was it like when like your stepfather, Mr. Gotti, comes to you and says like, yo, do you want to get into this? And you're like, you know, like, what, were you nervous about that in a sense? Because obviously that name carries quite a bit of weight, or were you like, nah, fuck yeah, let's run?
Nah, I mean, yeah, I was like, yo, let's do this. Like, we could, I asked him, like, you sure you really want to do this? Because we could blow this up and we could do this right. Like, I have all the contacts, I had the network, you know, I've been in the game. I've been in the industry since I was 12, 13 years old. I was selling fucking weed. So like, I've graduated to so much other things now, but yeah, the network's there, and it's easy to just to launch a brand for someone like me. So yeah, we did it. We kind of hit our foot on the gas and we exploded. We did really well, honestly. And we still do well in Cali, even consider that it's not a great rec market. I know people complain about sales and stuff, but you know, we have a solid base. We're not a huge company doing gigantic numbers like people like some of these big guys like CBX or Alien Labs are connected, but we definitely have a really consistent flow, and we have a nice base out there, and it's been good.
Yeah, man. I mean, also, I think it's a part of the process too. When you name those brands, you know, they've had a head start. Obviously, you know, you guys are out here, you're launching and you're building out in the two states that you're in. I mean, so with that, you also are in connection though, you know, with your established connections with Blueprint. You know, because when you were in the recent bracket, you had Blueprint labels when you were entering into the brackets and stuff like that. So obviously I wanted to ask kind of what's the connection with Jordan, Blueprint over there, and how do they help you out?
So Jordan and Blueprint, I'm also a partner in Blueprint, so that's another business endeavor of mine. So with my relationship with that comes with like, for Gotti, that's our home base.
Okay.
So like I know like a lot of people like, you know, like me personally, I don't grow weed. And they do the whole who grows, who's a white labeler, this, that. But for me, I don't really look at it like I'm a white labeler, because I'm not going around, you know, spot to spot trying to get packs. I deal with one brand. I deal with Blueprint. I have a good relationship there. I could bring genetics in. I'm also a part of pheno hunts. I could bring seeds in, whatever. Scheduling, you know, planting. I'm so deep in there that it's like, you know, I could call it my own home there. So that's where I want to grow. So when there's bad batches, there's bad batches. That means I'm not dropping. I'm not gonna just go somewhere like, oh fuck, I ordered packaging, I gotta drop. I said I was gonna drop, I gotta do it. But nah, if it's not what it is, then we roll with the punches and we'll wait for the batch to be ready. But yeah, so all my batches that are in my bags, they're always from Blueprint. Blueprint is grows from me, and that's what it is. So
that's fire.
Yeah, I'm not someone that's bouncing around like that. I got my home team, and I want to be here for the long haul with just this one team.
Nice. When you look back and you're in this game now and you're transitioning into that licensed era, like where do you find yourself in the strengths of business? You know what? Are you out there genetic hunting? Are you out there connecting with the people? Like where do you find your strengths?
Yeah, now we're doing a lot of genetic hunting because we also have a breeder now that's part of Blueprint. So the person who created, his name's Kyle. So shout out Kyle. He lives in Washington.
What's
He
up,
created
Kyle?
Triple Indy. Yep, he created Lindy. He created P90. He created that whole original Blueprint menu that everybody fell in love with.
Oh shit!
So now he's a part of Blueprint too. He's a partner in Blueprint as well. So we have exclusive breeding just dedicated now for us. So everything he does up there in Washington is all for seeds and for breeding and that's it. So we're doing like right now we're working the whole Lindy line. We're crossing Lindy to fucking everything you can imagine. I had a strain seed biscuit that really did that did really well for me. We're crossing seed biscuit to everything you can imagine. So yeah, we have a lot of cool shit that's in the works right now that probably every month we're gonna have like potential. We'll have to hunt through them, see what's good, see what's not. But we should have potential like maybe 15, 16 new flavors every month coming now.
Damn, okay.
That we're able to test out and try to run through. Yeah, so it's exciting. It's gonna start getting really good for Blueprint actually right now. Really
Very
good.
dope. Now, so that is your mission then, is to go out there and find your own flavors, your own genetics. You're not looking out for a Toad. You're not looking for the Becky to bring in and stuff like that. You want to bring your own brand. Do you feel like that is what's going to separate people in the long run, is finding your own IP on genetics?
Yeah, 100%. That's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to have to control their own thing, right? If that Toad never got out and those original guys still had it, imagine how much bigger that group would be. Or even let's say RS11, if those guys never sold it and they would have kept it in house, or all these great strains that were able to get kept closer to you. And more control, that brand who brought it out can make more money with it, and not to hold it forever, but there's a time and place for it. You can control it for a little bit, and then maybe after some success with it, you could release it, whether it be seeds or clones or something. It's not bad either, but it's nice when you have something yourself you can work with for a little bit versus taking over somebody else's creation.
No, I do, and it's kind of interesting with marketing too, right? Because we hear the term drama weed in a sense, right? Like where something like this happens with the Toad, and it really does heighten the awareness of the strain or whatnot. Do you think because you're a Gotti though, ain't nobody fucking with a Gotti? Nobody wants no drama with a Gotti, dog. Come on, man.
I don't know, man. Maybe, who knows? But we'll have to cross that bridge when it gets there. But it happens. All good cuts somehow, some way, they find their way out there.
Yeah,
right. Everybody thinks there's something that's locked down, and that's just the way history is. History showed us 1,000 times over again. These things just leak.
Yep.
They just do. It is what it is. So I'm sure it could happen to us too. We're not invincible.
Now, let me ask, with you having so much experience in the legacy market, the traditional market, and then crossing into the license, what was kind of shocking to you about it? Or did you have a lot of awareness in going in? Or was there things that shocked you?
No, it's different. It's totally black and white. Everything that could be good for traditional is not good for rec, and everything that's good for rec is not good for traditional. And it's just a completely different ball game, completely different type of customer base. Everything is just different. Even the business, like it's like in the street, you could shake hands with people and have a handshake deal, and that can mean something. In the real world, in the corporate world, those handshake deals, they're nothing. You need contracts. You got to have signatures. If you don't, they're worthless.
Damn, bless.
These guys will stab you in the back faster. No, they'll stab you in the back. The corporate guys will stab you in the back faster than your street buddies will. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm out in Arizona, and a lot of the dispensaries out here, we could say a majority, will slow play payments. They'll do net 30s that turn into net nevers. Do you have that type of
Of course.
Are you dealing with that type of situation in New York?
Everywhere. I feel like everybody right now is operating on borrowed time. After COVID happened, it's like people have this big like facade that everyone's making money, everybody has cash. I think right now, so many people are hurting right now. So many people are slow paying their tabs. So many people are buying what they're buying. Their volume is less. They're stealing from Peter to pay Paul. I think shit's all fucked up. It's only a matter of time before it really gets ugly. But
I don't know.
you got to be careful with the fronts nowadays. Got to definitely be careful with the spots for sure.
It's super interesting, man. I dive into the business side of cannabis often just because I agree with you. Like it seems like it's leading to almost like something's going to happen where it's going to implode on it. You know, like no one is like, when you look into it, seems to be making money outside of the person who owns that dispensary. And then there's, you know, they're able to hold on and not pay people. It's a pretty wild situation. Well, let me ask you about the vapes. You're very excited about this vape situation. One of the things I want to ask is the hardware. You know, did you do some, you know, your research on hardware? Because you always hear with vapes, hardware.
That's the main thing. Yeah,
so
hardware.
Talk to me about
hardware is everything. It is. Well, thank God to Jordan, because Jordan, like, he QC'd the shit out of the hardware. We went through like, I can't tell you how many different. I thought at one point China was just gonna get annoyed with us and not want to work with us because everything was just like a dud until we finally got the right hardware. So we went through so much, and that's really him QCing the shit out of everything. And honestly, I wasn't much of a vape guy. I'll be real with you. I never really liked vapes. I smoke flower. I smoke 5-6 joints a day. That's how it's always been. And these guys created a fucking vape that's just so fire, and it's so close to like a real dab. It tastes great. Wow. I'm telling you, I smoke the vape now all the time.
No shit.
Like, all the time.
I like to have one in my pocket for emergency situations like traffic and shit. You know what I mean? But
well, that's another thing, just convenience too. Like I also got kids. I got a little kid, so sometimes it's like you're with the fam all day. It's hard to go get these joint breaks, you know. So it's like, but I could go real quick in the corner, take a couple puffs of my vape, come right back, and we're all good, you know.
Shit, I'm hitting that vape everywhere too. That's truth, and I think that's big on the commercial market, right? I mean, you look at vape sales in California, it outproduced flower sales for the first time. I think last month or something like that.
That's everywhere though. That's everywhere in the world. Like if you even look even in like in the street side of stuff, when you hear some of these brands that are moving 100,000 pieces a month, like no one's moving 100,000 jars a month, but you can sell 100,000 vapes a month. Some brands do it. There's names out there that are doing that. Like that just goes to show you how much more vapes are being consumed, you know?
Right.
Way more.
Yeah, it's been different to see kind of the transition over time with the license, because like, it's we, you know, like I own smoke shops. I used to sell fucking thousands of hand pipes. And then once we went to rec, it all disappeared, and more people buying pre-rolls when they go into there, and they're buying the vapes. And it's just the convenience factor, you know, and taking in. Is that something that you look at? Do you already have like pre-rolls? Like, are you attacking the commercial world?
So for the brand, you know, we have obviously eights, but we sell regular flower, but we have pre-rolls, hash holes. We have different versions of the pre-rolls. We have singles, we have 4-packs. So yeah, you have to, because all that stuff is, people want convenience nowadays. They really do. And sometimes being an expensive brand, it's hard for someone to come and let's say to test you out on $60 purchase on your eighth. But maybe they'll give you a try on your pre-roll that's $30, half the price. So it's like an entryway to sometimes get people to try the brand and you know, introduce them to what's going on over here.
Yeah, definitely. No, I appreciate you being transparent too, breaking it down. Let's talk about where they can find Gotti at Gotti Cannabis. Let's make sure that people watching out this, learning about you, drop some retailers out there where they can find it.
I mean, in Cali, where we are would be like in Northern Cali, we're like in Main Stage, we're in Zen Garden, we're also in with the Premier Group. They're in the Valley, like in the Central Valley. Then down in LA, we're in Go Global. Where else are we in? We're in OG Kush is another one.
Hey.
They're good. Drawing a blank. Then let's say you go a little south by like, what is it, the IE? There's like what, Planet Nugs over there we're in. Also
Nice.
Roots to Harvest. What else we got? There's then San Diego, we're in like I think it's Mankind, it's called. Yeah, Mankind we're good in. There's a couple other ones. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank, but those are some ones that we're in Cali.
Nice. And then what about New York?
Well, we're about to launch here, so technically, I mean, we're everywhere without being everywhere.
Okay,
if you know what I mean.
All right,
But
all right, I got you.
but here we will have that soon. You know, like I said, I'm waiting on
Nice.
this last COA. I'm waiting on this last COA,
Okay.
and then I can officially sell the vapes here. But we already have like a good 40 stores that are like ready to buy. They're just waiting for us to tell them that that's good.
Dope.
Here we're gonna do great here. This is our backyard. This is our hometown.
Right, I
Like,
imagine.
New York's they're gonna show so much love. I can tell by the pre-orders that we have. Like, it's gonna be really good.
I mean,
I'm
yes,
excited
I
for New
imagine
York.
the family, man. Yes, the Gotti carries weights. I honestly, bro, I didn't even realize that it had ties like that. I just thought another person using that name, but no, you got the ties. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I'm excited for that. That's good.
Yeah, like what is it like in a sense with approaching? You said you had 40 dispensaries. I was about to ask you, like, is it difficult getting into dispensaries? But you just went ahead and answered that one.
No.
So props.
Not from New York.
Not from New York.
New York's been easy.
Hell
You know what it is? It's like my generation now. I feel like everybody who got dispensaries in New York, all these licenses, there's so many kids that are like part of my come up. And because my network and I've been in the game for so long, they just find their way to me, They come to me. They already know I have Gotti. So you know how long people already been asking me, yo, bro, when are you gonna bring it here? When are you gonna bring it here? I'll put it in my store for you. I'll put it in my store, please. So it's like the foundation's just been laid for years already. Now we gotta just attack.
I love it. And you are attacking, right? You entered into a high rollers bracket and put up 10K, right? I mean, that's you putting yourself out there and putting yourself on in a bracket with some heavy hitters, man. What was the motivation behind joining that?
Just, I know we can compete with these guys. I mean, shout out to all those guys that were there.
Nice.
They're all amazing and they're all great, but so are we. We're great too, So it's like, and that's how, the Proper Smoke League has been amazing. I see what it's been doing for other people. And it's like, if you're operating in this like higher end market or even any market, if you feel like if you're a brand and you think you have good weed, doesn't matter what your price point is or what state you're growing in. If you think you're producing some good shit and you want to shed some light on it and get a good spotlight, you should enter these brackets. Enter them, because if you win and you do good, you're gonna definitely get some flow there for sure.
I love to hear that too, because we also saw Wizardry Scott, with that same sentiment of saying, like, look, if you're gonna out here say you got the best and not competing, you simply don't. And then you get matched up with Wizardry, right? So you go up there, you battle him. What was the aftermath of going in that battle with Wizardries? What was the proper doink effect people discuss? What was that for you after that situation?
I mean, it just showed me that, like, as long as you have good flower, you're gonna win. Because I may have not have won that match. I lost that match to him, but it was such a tight, close battle, and the commentary was so good for my side as well, that sales for me that week were absolutely up. Absolutely. I had people. There was a point where Adam was describing my weed as like made him racy. He said it was giving him a little racy. I can't tell you how many kids. There was multiple kids that came by and bought stuff just because they said they needed that racy effect that Adam said.
Wow,
it's like that,
man.
Yeah, I need that racy effect that Adam had. It's this flavor, right? This is the one. Yes, it's this one. So for sure. Like,
That's
and
crazy.
I didn't win.
That's
If I
dope.
would have won, it would have been even better. Yeah.
That is dope, man. One of the things that I think it's tight is because we'll see people like yourself enter into these brackets that truly have passion for cannabis and want to produce the best quality that they can. And as you see in the licensed market, the demand really that's not the majority of demand isn't for quality, right? So, what motivates you to continue to want to produce the best that you can when you're now looking at this licensed world saying, wow, these people out here in the commercial world really do love mids, don't they? Mids for a certain price,
yeah, that's what it is. Well, you want to make money, obviously, right? I do love the game. I love the plant. Like that's first. But I do have a life, and I want to have a career, and I want to have a generation. Make money. So with these deals, you're not chasing. Not that you're not chasing good quality, because you still want good quality, but you're just more so trying to be more economic, if that makes sense. Like you're thinking price points too, right? You have to be at a certain number when you go in the rec as well, right? When you're in traditional, if you find the fire pack at 25, 3,000, and you think you could sell it for 5 or 6K, you'll do it, right? It makes sense to you.
Right.
It doesn't exist in rec.
No,
it doesn't exist,
does
right?
not.
There's a cap in rec. You cannot be more than $1,200-$1,300, or you're just not gonna make money. $1,100, or you're not gonna make bread. So now now you're operating from there. So it's a little different, right?
Is.
So it is what it is. So you try your best to get the best quality you can get.
Yeah.
Luckily I have a good crew around us, like Blueprint. They produce commercial weed on a really, really good scale. So things work out. So it's like I'm happy. I don't have to go looking around, hopping around, seeing if the grass is greener. My grass is green here. I can just water it, So that's just what it is. But yeah, definitely licensing deals. You're you have to you got to chase kind of the pricing, the money. You're analyzing every little dollar, really.
Yeah. You know, I appreciate you saying that too, because what I've noticed especially when you bring up Blueprint, who is like phenomenal, they have this purple dino. Ooh, man, I love that motherfucking
Amazing.
purple dino, dog. God damn.
Yeah.
And so you
I
bring
love
up a
purple
great
dino.
point, like where there's quality now available in the license game. It's grown. They've built these facilities to focus on growing cannabis. They can dive in. So quality is now on inside of dispensaries. How much of you, after being in the traditional market for so long, are you catching flack for now wanting to go to license? Are there people in your past that are like, what? You're selling now? What is this? Like, you know, any of that at all? Or do people recognize the opportunity for you?
No, I think they recognize the opportunity, but we're also not that big yet. It's not like we've gone cookies or like Connected or Alien where we're so accessible in multiple states, right? We're talking just Cali and now New York. There's some of these brands that they're in the Florida market, the Michigan market, Arizona market,
Nice.
you know, so on and so on. They're in all these markets. So hopefully one day we're in those markets.
Yeah,
but
come on.
yeah, but like you just said before, that's the thing. Like there is great weed that's very affordable. What it is it's the marketing, which you also mentioned earlier too. Like marketing changed the game, right? Marketing, a great marketing company can make your pack sell for 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, or maybe it's a bad marketing. You can only sell for 1,500, 2K. That's the difference, right?
Yeah.
A brand can have the same flower, two different brands can have the same stuff in their bags, and one's getting more money. Why? Because they just have a better marketing.
They knew how to pitch it. Yeah, definitely.
They know how to pitch it.
And that's where I have the kickback, because in Arizona, you know, I've put out a brand and people are like, oh, you're out here selling dispensary weed. And it's like, when's the last time you smoked some shit from there? You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit's fucking smoking.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a trip.
Now, don't lock my stuff if you're not smoking it, right? If you know your stuff smoking, then that's what it is.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so we got the next one coming up, man. Is there any nerves? Do you know what you're entering into the $160,000 high rollers bracket coming up? Have you considered this?
No. Yeah. We considered it. We're gonna do it.
Fire.
We're just right now every 2 weeks we have new harvest, and right now we're QCing. We're all sitting down as a team. Honestly, we literally we've been meeting every 2 weeks. I make sure to fly out to SAC and get there. So as a whole team, we'll QC all the flavors, and that way we could get ready for these future competitions, and we're ready. So we're definitely taking it very serious for sure. Very serious.
Are you rolling them up like the proper Doinks style? Are you doing side by side?
Yeah.
What's the QC process?
Yeah. We're side by siding everything.
That's fire.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it. You have to honestly side by side stuff. You really can't compare it. It's hard to even smoke one and then go. Let's say we'll just do we'll do it back to back. We'll smoke this one, then we'll let the one right after it. You still you forget. Like you have to be able to sit there and go back and forth for a second and compare them and say, no, okay, this one is better. You know.
Yeah, that's
for whatever reasons it is.
Yeah, shout out to that. Okay, so we know you're getting in it. I love the fact that this is the first time that they're doing an event too. And they're limited on the tickets. You know, I think people are very excited to experience, you know, some of these brands for the first time, to grab some merch and be able to rock it throughout this next bracket. You plan on being at the event and having a booth and everything?
Yep.
Fire. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll definitely be there. Yeah.
Nice. What is in a sense, like, you know, obviously we've seen you go in and do marketing with the high rollers, but what do you think about, it seems like in the license world, it's a whole, like, smoke me out if you want me to go buy your shit, which I don't really feel like was ever really a traditional thing, but we're seeing it in the license world. How do you feel about going to events and just setting up a booth and smoking out hundreds of people in the hopes that they will go buy your product? Is that something that you plan on doing, that I see out here in the license world do? Or what's your marketing strategy gonna be like?
Not really. For the licenses, for the rec markets, it's simple. You got to just take care of the bud tenders. You don't have to go do a show, an event somewhere, but you could pull up at the store, you know, give everybody a gift bag, even talk to them for a minute or two. Like, it goes a long way, you know.
Right.
Start trying to be able to know at least the managers' names, first names, You know, that way when you go there, you call them by their first name. Like even that goes a long way. Like, oh shit, this person remembered me. They call me by my first name, you know?
Yeah.
So, but that's really just taking care of them. Like right now for New York, we have a whole rollout. Like, yes, maybe I'm not promoting it so much on Instagram because I don't need to. I need to just attack the New York market. So we have this whole thing that we have so many goodie bags that we're gonna hit every employee that works at every single dispensary that we're going to go into is going to get a hand gift bag presented to them by John himself. John's going to give it to them, give them a little spiel, and get these people people all fired up. So like we had this whole thing behind the scenes ready to go, and like now we're just waiting for this thing, and we're going to launch it. So that's what it comes down to, bro. The bud tenders, that's your frontline security. That's your real salesmen. Those are the ones that got to have it. They have 100 brands in there. People walk in there. What do you like? What's the best? They don't fucking know. Or maybe they don't even care. They don't even care. Probably, you know.
Yeah,
they have their own life going on.
Yeah. No, I mean that's what's interesting. And you talk about the proper doink effect affecting you. Did it reach all the way out to New York? Did you feel that effect all the way across the nation?
Oh yeah. Well, New York is a big what can I say? That's definitely a big demographic for proper, for sure.
Yeah.
I know they have a huge fan base out there. Yeah.
No
shit. A lot of people love them. Yeah,
God,
yeah.
tight.
New York's huge. New York loves that rolling good, smoking proper. You know that high lifestyle, right? It's a more of an upper echelon style, right? Your tips $40, $50, $60. The flower itself costed X amount of money. It's like, you know, it's nice. But yeah, New Yorkers love that for sure, definitely.
So when you have you had a nice run in the Z shit bracket, do you find yourself having those strains, making sure that do you enter into the brackets what you know you'll have readily available, or is it more just based on what's smoking regardless of what you have available afterwards?
It's definitely what is smoking first. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're chasing. So yeah, like when we take a room down, we're smoking the whole room. Whatever's smoking the best here. Maybe it's not my favorite. Maybe it's not Jordan's favorite. But whatever we can agree on as a team that this is definitely the superior one. That's what's gonna get entered.
Nice, because I mean that seems like a great opportunity to launch a strain or no matter what, it's a great opportunity just to get some feedback or whatnot. But I could imagine how we're seeing some of the feedback when we watched last bracket saying hey, I can't even get this. You know what I mean? There was some kickback, I think, from the audience where they're like, yo, where is this that I can get it? And you guys are highlighting almost in a sense, sometimes personal grows. And so I wanted to ask that question to you if there was.
No, it happens. Some people forget that some of these brands are running a business and they have a flow. So maybe that batch that won went somewhere. Maybe it went all to rec, or maybe it went to a certain individual somewhere else. Sometimes stuff like does happen. Like even my Z bracket, right? That particular batch that we just entered in the Z, the particular one, it was a small drop, and the whole thing went to the Cali rec market. I didn't even have a half pound that I could bring back. Let's get buddies in New York. I took a zip for myself to smoke, and the whole thing got put into rec, and that's just how that worked out.
That's fire.
That particular batch, yeah. But yeah, there's always more coming. But that specific one, people weren't going to see that. My normal people weren't going to see that because it stayed in Cali.
Yeah. And then what about how we saw Faven R&D, a sponsor of the network, go in, enter in, and then fucking Cinderella all the way to the championship?
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's good stuff,
there we
man.
go.
I love it. Yeah, that's great, bro. They're good guys. I know those guys. Yeah. Shout out to them, bro. They're producing some fire weed. I want to try some of that what was it called? Zoosh, the blue Zoosh that they have. I would definitely love to try some of that. But yeah, that's a good group, bro. I love to see them win. Love to see everybody win. There's so much. That's the thing about weed, man. There's so much food on the table for everybody to eat. You can have a lot of successful brands. You don't ever have to. This is the last industry to be like, yo, I need to have a monopoly. You drive yourself crazy. You couldn't be an Amazon. There's too much weed getting consumed in the world for one person to be Amazon. There can be a lot of Amazons.
There it is. Wow. Love to hear this feedback, man. Right now, we're seeing some people put it on the internet because of the THC lane. Have you considered that? Obviously, you're not doing it. So what stops you from throwing some product on like the Green Door and making it accessible across the nation?
I do have it on the Green Door, actually. We are. Blueprint and Gotti is on the Green Door. Yeah, I like the internet, bro. I've been saying to my crew, myself, my team, I want to even start doing more. I've been slacking. I haven't been doing it. but I want to start doing more like content because I feel like that's just where the game's going. Like right now, maybe it's a little premature, but that's okay. You got to get ahead of the curve. That's how you become, really successful, when you could beat people to the punch. But in 5-6 years from now, you're gonna see just regular people on the internet talking about weed, right? No more commercials, no more animations, just like they do for Coca-Cola or
Right.
Pepsi or fucking Nike. Like it's just gonna be regular. Like you should be able to have a face to it. People do commercials. They're fucking whatever. They're on TV even maybe.
Yeah.
One day you'll see that. Like, but it starts somewhere. So you got to get in front of the camera more for sure. That's definitely something that any brand should do. That'll be good for any brand to do. Really.
Nice. When you talk about content, are you talking about, just doing reels on Instagram, or do you plan on opening up maybe a podcast? Podcasts are definitely something that I like.
Not a podcast. I wouldn't do podcasts, but like more just live shit. Like let's say a day in the life, what goes on, traveling to all these spots, going to all these different grows, even part of the marketing meeting, some of these phone calls, like just like seeing like behind the scenes shit of what goes on, when you're trying to run a weed brand.
Love it. I mean, now when you say it like
QC,
that,
all that stuff.
I'm gonna say, like, I mean, if you had some like a day in the life and you go smoke with, John, does that happen? Does John puff?
Nah,
like
John
that?
don't smoke weed. Nah, he won't smoke. Not for him. But
what about?
But like he comes sometimes. Yeah, there's times where I brought him out with me plenty of time to Cali, and he comes to the spots, to the facility, and he knows the guys, and he'll see all the shit. We'll explain to him how how each room is, and what every phase of the life is of the plant. So he gets it. But yeah, things like that would be great content too, right? Having John show up, see some stuff, have him oversee some of the QC that's going on would be cool too, for sure.
Yeah, because we've seen Gotti, the family, on other different platforms, right? There was a reality series about the Gottis that was out there. I mean, like, I think that Cannabis is only growing. It's soon going to be rescheduled. We'll find out here. And would you ever allow for a major network to come in and, put together a reality series around your cannabis journey?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fuck
100%.
yeah, right? I was gonna say, hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean,
hell yeah.
I look at it
That's
right
gonna be
now,
the future.
right?
Someone's gotta do it. It's
Someone's
gonna be the
gotta
future,
do it.
100%.
Because
Yeah, I look at it like now, like, yo, in 10 years, 15 years, this shit's gonna be so, like, let's say my kids, I got a 3-year-old son. I feel like when he's 18, 20, he's never gonna know about calling Johnny around the block and going to meet him for a sack.
No.
It's gonna be in 7-Eleven. It's gonna be in gas stations. Like, it's just gonna be normal. Just
Right.
like for us, right? Our generation, we don't know about buying booze in the street during Prohibition.
Nope.
My whole life, we go to the store and we buy at a liquor store. That's
Yep.
what's normal.
Yep.
Maybe our grandparents, they were buying that shit in the street, right? Like, it was different times. So same thing eventually is going to be with weed. It's just going to be so legal and so normal that you got to be able to try to, get good genetics, partner up with some good brands, and try to work some good licensing deals where you could kind of definitely be able to control that quality where it doesn't get too out of whack. You can scale at a decent rate without messing up your quality. That's really the goal.
My man, I appreciate your time joining us right here, talking with us, man. Thank you so much, dude. I could pick your brain on a bunch of stuff, because I'd imagine now with you joining in and showing, leading the way for a lot of people that look up to you. Have you had experiences with people like coming to you and being like, oh shit, so like, can I get into this game? And like, do you have, has there been like,
all the time.
Yeah, nice. Is there anyone out there, like celebrity wise, that you're in conversation with that like is like interested in cannabis, and now that you're in it, they're like, yo, what's good? Anybody you can
No, we don't really have anybody like that.
Okay.
I try not to get too caught up with those deals. Those usually are like the worst deals, honestly.
Okay.
The rappers and the
I was
celebrities,
gonna say
they just
musicians?
never go good. The musicians never. I would be surprised if, let's say, even Drake, he's the god of sales and rap, right? I'd be surprised if he'd be able to have a successful strain.
No
I just
shit.
feel like, I don't know what it is with our community. They just laugh at the celebrities. They just don't take them serious. But yeah, every actor, every rapper has never had a successful. Never, not one of them.
I mean,
I guess to a certain point, but even him, like, I'm sure if like people like see, I know some people behind the scenes over there. Wiz has never seen $1 from weed in his life. Maybe some of the people around him, But him personally, I mean, he gets money off it different ways. I guess you could say it's part of his portfolio. But as far as him getting a check, he's not getting checks off of marijuana. Like he's Wiz Khalifa, he's got a huge music catalog and merchandising deals and all these crazy real deals. But as far as him getting bread off his weed brand, nah. Like Snoop's another one. I used to run that distro used to be in the same distro as mine. Snoop never seen $1 in his life. That wasn't even part of his deal. The deal would be blow this up. If we sell this for 10, 20, 30 million, Death Row Cannabis, he'll get his piece. But that day-to-day money, he don't see that. He doesn't get any bunch of space.
I mean, you would probably say then Burner might be the only one because he just came out saying, he owns.
Him. Yeah,
right.
Definitely
He definitely. Sure. I was watching the interview. He did saying own 80% of Cookie still. I was like, oh shit, a lot of misconception thinking he don't own shit of it.
He's the exception. Burner's the exception. He's the original. But look at him. Like I said, being the originator, starting shit. Right. Yeah. He created this packaging, branding, marketing shit. He's like the goat of it. Right. Yeah. He's the Jordan of the fucking weed game. No matter anybody who hates on him, that's just what it is.
You know what's you have a very nice cannabis tree right now because a lot of people look at Jordan as the same. Like a lot of people will give credit to Jordan over at Blueprint is like, someone that is like leading the way in the industry and helping progress cannabis. Let's talk about the flushing, right? Like let's talk about when the situation came out, not situation, but the talk of not flushing comes out. He's leading the way on that. We actually had the question out there from Country Trees asking if you flush, but I feel like since you've talked about Blueprint, we already know that answer, which would be no, right?
No, they don't. Yeah. And Jordan, he's another one. He's one of the goats, like you said. He's one of the best growers I think ever. There's a lot of great growers, and you could put him in that category with all those guys. So,
hell yeah,
he's hardcore when it comes to that shit. That's his. He breathes and lives that shit. He's in the garden. Jordan's in the garden right now. I haven't seen him hustle like this the way he's been in the garden, like 24/7. Like so much heat batches we have coming out. It's great. It really is. It's going to be a good time.
Nice. I want to make sure chat too. Appreciate you guys kicking in with us. Let me know if you've got any questions. I do know another one came in from El Barn Dog out there. He's asking you, what do you prefer, smoothness or pungent inhale experience?
Smoothness.
Okay, there it is. With the smokability that I feel now is being platformed and being discussed, how do you feel like you go in now on your QC? Do you pay attention to all the nuances when it comes to things now?
Yeah, absolutely. When we do our QC, our side by sides, especially for the competition entries, we're literally judging them the same exact way. It's the same way because you have to, right? That's what they're gonna do. Doesn't fucking matter what I think or what I don't think. This is you're gonna enter a competition and they have rules, then follow those fucking rules. Just like if I'm trained to be a basketball player and I'm gonna go play in a game, I know I can't double dribble, right? I gotta learn to just dribble regularly. It just is what it is. So yeah.
So let's talk about because when you're putting out, I know that's for competition. When you're putting in one strain. So what would you say? You would rank your flower that goes into a Gotti bag. Like when you're doing these QCs, like what out of 10 does it got to make sure it hits at for it to make?
It's got to be a 9 out of 10. It's got to be 9 for us. It's got to be high 8s. I mean, maybe somebody else will have their own opinion, but at least for us, like we're believing this is a high 8, 9 at least minimum out of 10 to go in there. If not, we'll sell it as something else in a loose bag. It is what it is.
There it is right there. I love to hear that. It's just the insight. You were out there doing it, so it's nice to hear how it is when someone's out there really living that life. Now you're out there multiple states getting ready to pop out in New York, waiting on the paperwork. Oh man, I know you got to be excited for that. Are you planning on where you're at? You're out in Cali now. You're back from being out in London. What's your kind of plans?
I'm actually in New York right now.
Oh, in New York right now. Okay, nice. Yeah. Nice. What are your plans for the drop? Are you staying out there until you get this paperwork and get that going?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like I said, any day that should happen. So I'm gonna be here for probably the next 2 weeks. And just focus on selling all this product that we're gonna have now, all these vapes. I want to make sure this first drop goes smooth, goes nice, and then that's fine.
Nice. Question in from Adam. Appreciate you, my man. He's saying, how did the relationship with you and Blueprint, start?
I just chased them down like it was like right around when I first started the brand, you know. I was that kid. I was going to spot, getting weed from wherever the fuck I could get, whatever I thought was cool, curating my menu, putting in my bags. And then from an early start, I just had that vision that like, listen, just because I don't grow weed doesn't mean I can't be vertically integrated. Doesn't mean I can't get in tune, have my own grow and be a part of something and just you have to have your own roles. If you're building a huge company, there's going to be a lot of roles within this company. So like my role is never going to be to go inside the grow room. That's just not me. I'm outside the grow room, but we're still a team and we're still working towards the same mission. So I chased them down early on. Like I said, a few years ago, I started working with them, and that's what it was. I would get packs from them, and then the relationship just grew. I became more loyal to them, more just like only wanting to work with them, and then that's how relationship grows. A lot of these young brands nowadays, they don't know how to stay loyal, right? They all want their own strain. How do I get my own strain? That's the biggest question I get in my DM. Yo, bro, I want to start a brand. How do I get my own strain? It's like, yo, you got to work. You have to be loyal to a place for a while. If you're not a grower and you're a white labeler, you're not gonna just walk into a spot and say, yo, I like this strain. It's mine. From now on, I want every batch, everything is all gonna be mine. It's like, yo, who the fuck are you? This is our strain. You know what I mean? Like I can just take the strain. But maybe if you spend some time here, you do some business here, and you show good face and you show you're loyal, you show you could even work through even bad times too. That's another thing. Some people come with bad batches, and this happens to everybody. It's just you're dealing with a living thing. This is a living organism, a plant. It can go wrong. You can have a bad batch. And a lot of these kids out here, they don't want to be a part of that, right? They only want to just hop around to where all the good stuff is. And it's like, that's not going to get you long-term in the door with somebody. So you show some loyalty, you show some good business, the main thing, and who knows where a relationship can take you. And then before I knew it, now we're years deep in, an opportunity arose for me with them. Jordan presented me with something, and that was it.
That's fire. Appreciate dropping the perspective and game. That's what I want the Morning Wood to be all about. We get together and we chop it up about cannabis. Man, I appreciate you being so transparent.
No, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, we got a question though. I know I'm just a couple more questions from the chat, and we'll let you get out of here, my man. We got Rafe in here. He's asking you, what's your favorite strain you've ever dropped on your menu?
Seabiscuit.
No shit. What was that? What was that about?
Seabiscuit. Seabiscuit is it's actually bred by DP's Dio Farms.
Fire.
He bred it, and DP so Seabiscuit was just like, it was at the very beginning, and it was like what put me on the map. That was like my strain. Like that shit had me all over the place. It got me. Jordan grew the hell out of it. Perfect. Like that was one strain. Like in the beginning, there was never a bad batch ever. That was like dialed the fuck in. So it did really well for us. We won the East Coast Olympics with it in 2023. So we won overall and all the categories. So we crushed it there. We also won what was it? What's Jimmy Devine's thing he used to do? Jimmy Devine used to do a thing. Trans Bay. We won the Trans Bay LA with it, with the Seabiscuit. So there was a couple of things that we won with it. It was good to me. It was a great strain. I still love it. And it's just very flavorful. It was, shout out to DP's. That was a great one.
Okay, well, with Seabiscuit, is that something that you always make sure that's in the staple, or will you cross it and stuff like that?
No, we still sell it. 3 years later, it's still on our menu.
The Seabiscuit. Yeah. All right, well, let's see what's up with that. I have to get my lungs on some for sure. We got 100%. Another question though. I feel like I know the answer on this one. Blunts or joints?
Joints.
Nice. I see you said you smoke 12 or something like that a day. I figured, yeah.
Nah, like five, 6 a day I can smoke for sure.
There it is. All right, well, look, man, I know that you just got back in the States. I appreciate you popping in on this, man. Is there anything out there that you would like people to know about the Gotti brand, about you that is watching this? Go ahead and drop it on them before we let you get out of here.
Just that we take this real serious. We really do care about the quality that we put out there, and we know the name holds a lot of weight. Right, Gotti is much bigger than cannabis. It's globally recognized, so it's not something that you want to just tarnish, and something that you want to just throw around. So I definitely take a lot of pride into whatever it is that we're putting out there with the name on it is top tier. And the same thing with Blueprint. Anything that you see with Blueprint's name on it, know that shit is going to be top tier.
Love that, dude. Appreciate that. And it's great to know that your standards are out there. You're trying to put 9 and up. You said you may let a high 8 slide in a sense. That's the vibe I got, but it's 9s and up, man. So props to you, man. Looking forward to smoking on some Gotti, watching you in these brackets, and just watching your journey, man. Anytime you got anything going on, bring me that promo. Pop on here anytime you got something you want to chop it up about. Use this as a platform to get that message out there. And thank you, my man, for popping on the Morning Wood today.
Nah, I appreciate you, bro. Take it easy.
Take it easy right there. What a dope conversation. Gino right there doing his thing. Gotti brand, another dope conversation with someone out there who is about the passion and providing high quality. Thank you guys for popping in with us today, kicking it with us through that interview and providing some questions and some vibes. Thank you so much. Definitely got to give props over here to SirHIGH Selections. I am loving this purple belts. Nice one, my guy. We're going to be doing a side-by-side. We got 2 left in the gift box over here. 2 left side-by-side with SirHIGH live on Thursday. So that is going down. That is going down. And then we're going to talk to our guy up the hill tomorrow, though, about what was it like being in Brazil. Remember that we watched yesterday, the match, fight. I don't know why I couldn't say fight, but so now we'll have Up the Hill on here. We'll have Bryce on here and telling us exactly what was going on in his mind throughout this fight. Looking forward to that. But that's the episode. I think I hit everything we were going to talk about. Marijuana to you guys. I appreciate the support out here. Shout out to PSN. Thank you so much for Smoke of the Day. Proper Doinks for allowing me to get on here, chop it up with these growers out here that are super passionate about it. Goats in their respect and just doing things. Here at the Morning Wood, we want to bring it on and we want to have these conversations and find out what it's like in the world of cannabis, right? We like to smoke it, of course. But what's it like being in their position? That's what we're going to find out every day right here on the Morning Wood. You know what I like to end it. Let's go! My friends. Yes! Marijuana. Look at all these people pulling up, man, because they love weed. They love you. You're amazing. Until tomorrow, I'm out!
What the fuck?
Thank you!
That's science. Oh, and again, I appreciate the eggs in the chat. Let me know you fuck with me.